Hey, Tim Sykes here with a video lesson just reviewing Friday and the patterns that are working the best right now. I don't know how many videos I have to do to get you guys to understand that on Friday mornings, you have to be looking for these morning spikes. I did this video lesson roughly a month ago, the best pattern to watch out for every single Friday. And I was focusing on KURA and NLNK. On Friday, LINU was the big winner. It tripled from the open until 10:30. So you had 1 hour basically. And so many of you banked. I got to go over a few tweets. Fahim, props to you. 6 trades, 6 for 6, made nearly $3,000. And he's using stocks to trade software and he is studying. So I love that. Hold on one sec. Oh, I got to give Superman props. He made nearly 50,000 on SSTI. Just an amazing swing trade there. Let's see. Where were the tweets? I'm sorry. I'm disorganized. There were so many of you. Oh, I got to give props to Steven Johnson. He finally stopped trading as much and focusing on just a few patterns. So now he has gone green a few weeks in a row. You know, no big profits yet, but patience is what it takes. And patience with studying and patience with, just waiting for the right patterns. I love this one from Travis. He made 350 on LINU and he donated it, which is awesome. A few $100s, a few $1,000s goes a long way, in these different areas affected by natural disasters. And Master Roshi, one of my most dedicated students, he's having a boy and he shared his ultrasound, which is awesome. Lots of congratulations all around for everybody. It's been a good few weeks. Roland is closing in on $300,000 in profits now. He started the year with just 4,000. So some of you guys with small accounts, you can really say, wait, oh, hold up. You can make 6 figures in 1 year. It is kind of crazy. I encourage you to go through all of Roland's trades. Oh my God, I have way too many tweets. Sarah nailed the morning spike or the afternoon spike on ITEK. On Fridays, it's not just about, oh, it was the morning spike. Well, I was going to say it's not just about morning spikes on Friday. Anytime Friday, shorts can really get squeezed heading into the weekend. And there's a whole bunch of short sellers out there who just like to bet against everything. And guess what? Most of these stocks do come down. iTech, was a good short. After the big spike. LINU, it came down $1 a share, but it was tough to short this one. So I don't mind if you short. I just think that for most of you guys, it's better to go long, especially on Fridays. Shorting is very scary, especially when you have a small account, especially in this market. But if you look at Dux and Tim Grittani, they love shorting these morning spikes. So there's opportunities both ways. Where was it? Oh my God, I should have planned this better. Here's Christopher, round 2, and he got in at 269, out at 290. Making a few $100 with, he's using 2,600 to make like 200 or 300. I love this. Penny, dip HMNY overnight, and dip bought LINU made 219. And by the way, HMNY was my play on Friday or Thursday, late day on this breakout, and I was buying, which dip was it? Let's see. This dip right here, where it hit 14.90 and came down to 13.90. This little $1 a share dip. And I bought it and I sold it too soon because, frankly, I'm not comfortable with like 13, 14, like 15, $16 stocks. But the reason why, and some of you guys are asking, like, why am I trading this one? Because this is a breakout. If you look at it, this is just an incredible, chart in just the past few days. This is all in 3 weeks. It's gone from 2 to now 16-ish. But look at the pattern here. So it spikes big, then consolidates for 2 days, spikes big for 2 days, consolidates for 2 days, spikes big, consolidates for 3 days. And then it keeps going. So eventually it's going to, not be able to spike as much anymore. But when you are looking at patterns, you got to see what it's done recently because history does tend to repeat itself. So with this perfect breakout, above the 1420s, and it got to 1460, and then it got to 15, it's testing a breakout heading into Friday. So, okay, LINU, granted, it's a former runner. It didn't really spike pre-market. It spiked like right near the market open. Um, like literally right near the market open. But HMNY was a play heading into Friday, and that also led to another morning spike. And I sold this one too soon, so I'm not like one to talk, but at least I was on the right track, dip buying this late day on a Thursday. And I was also teaching a few people in person, and they know that this was my, top play. And I was actually trying to get some people to say, wait a minute, this could be a good overnight hold. Not my sweet spot, so I don't mind selling too soon, but it's good to be on the right track. And HMNY was a good dip buy here late Thursday. It was even a good dip buy right at the open on Friday. The morning spikes don't have to happen right at 9:30. This thing was actually dipping from 1490 down to 1440 right near the market open, and then it spiked, and it had multiple spikes. It actually spiked, came down, spiked, came down, spiked, came down, spiked, came down, and then it held near its highs. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing try to spike again. Same thing with IZEA, which I want you guys watching. This one has been basing around 6 the past few days. Hasn't really been able to bounce, but pretty impressive that, it's even holding up here, considering it tripled and this company is a joke. They're going to be announcing on the 10th, revenue guidance, and I'm sure they will dress it up and they'll make it, seem as good as possible. I would be long right now if there was more volume, and secondly, they need cash to survive. So the reason why they're issuing all these PRs and they're tweeting about upcoming PRs, they're trying to pump themselves up. They're trying to keep this stock afloat so that they can pull off a toxic financing, at a big discount to the current price. So that's very dangerous to hold a stock like this overnight, because they might announce a financing and it would kind of like, take the legs out of the stock price. This thing could easily gap down and open up down 20, 30, 40% any day. So you might say, okay, well then I should short it. Well, not so. I don't know if they're going to do a toxic financing. Even if they do, I don't know the timing. And then you have this upcoming news that they're going to try to hype up on Tuesday as much as possible. So this one for me is a potential buy heading into that, Tuesday announcement. I will not hold through the Tuesday announcement. They've issued so many BS PRs lately, and BS is not a ticker. Some of you guys are like, what's a BS PR? This is BSPR. Oh, I guess it was BPSR. It's a stock. A BSPR is not an actual ticker. I mean bullshit. Bullshit is IZEA. Their ticker should be bullshit. SHIT should really be their ticker. It's a joke where they say that they have all these influencers and that's their business. Trust me, I'm an influencer. I know this. This is a little personal to me. So that's why I've been trading it so much. I probably got a little too personal with this. But this is going to be an amazing play to watch this week, one way or the other. They're going to try to hype it up. I don't know what they're going to announce on Tuesday, but they're going to dress it up as much as possible. They also tried to spike the stock right in here, or one of these days, where they said, "Oh, we're continuing to evaluate our strategic alternatives," and then the press release literally said nothing. Like, that's what every company is doing. Every single company is always looking at different ways they can add shareholder value. But they put out the press release and the stock still went down. So even if they announce something big on Tuesday, I'm not sure that there's anything left in the tank here. That said, if they do get some volume and they do have some news, the way that they frame it, like where it's like actually meaningful news, this thing could squeeze again. So I wouldn't be too confident either way. Going long, you risk a toxic financing and a halt or a big gap down. Going short, you risk, getting squeezed and big news. So that's why I like no position right now, but I'm watching it. And this coming week for IZEA, I'm going to try not to trade it as much, but I can guarantee you that it's not just going to stay at 6 this week, okay? We're going to have some big volatility one way or the other. And I hope that they pump up their stock. I hope that they get this thing to 10, 15 plus, with their pumping. But I think that's kind of a long shot given that it's up from 2 to 6 and volume is fading dramatically. So this one is probably going to die. Um, I'm just not so confident that it's going to die right away. Otherwise, I'd be short. So watch IZEA. What was I? Sorry, I was going through too much. HMNY, LINU. Watch HMNY too. This thing could still squeeze. This thing could be 20 plus by the week, or they could do some toxic financing too, and they might drop big. These are volatile stocks. Stock snipers. I got to give them props. A few young guys. They came to my Orlando conference. They started with I think like 1,500 or maybe even 500, but they're up to 28,000. Take it one trade at a time, guys. Don't get cocky. There were some more tweets. Oh, here was Jason, nailing it. His big winner was LINU, and he's taking some losses. XXII had really big news on Friday, and it's a nice, gradual uptrending chart, but it could not hold its, early morning spike. If you look at pre-market, pre-market it got all the way up to 380. And by the time the market opened, it was down to the 330s and it never really did much. So just because a stock is spiking big pre-market does not mean that it will necessarily continue spiking during market hours. So that's a good lesson from XXII. And I like this, Jason. It's okay to take small losses. Look at this. Small loss, small gain, small loss, big gain. And overall, you make $500 on the day. This is awesome. Dixie made 1,800 on HMNY in a $6,000 profit week. Look at this. This is crazy. Brandon making, day six green days in a row, banking nearly 15,000. I like showing you how many people are taking it one trade at a time and whether they're making 2,000, 3,000, 6,000, 15,000. It's really, really, really beginning to add up. Here's Dan. He nailed the squeeze on MTBC. MTBC was a recent runner, and they had some news, and the thing spiked quite nicely, even though it didn't hold it. So that's pretty typical of a lot of these stocks. They're just overextended. Stevie made a quick 100. Mikey made $118. Alexin made some money on MNKD. Goth Girl got out too early on LINU. AMN in at 218, out at 233, in at 233, out at 255. Don't feel too bad. These are, nearly 10% profits. I love this. Christopher just made his first $1,000 profit trade. In at 199, out at 306. And that's freaking awesome. 50% in one day. Big Bruchos made over 1,000. He says you got to love this shit. I agree. Sydney, quote, only made 660. Sonny only made 350. Luke made nearly 50% on LINU. HM Stars made 330 in 10 minutes. So I didn't even trade it, FYI. So some of you guys were like, oh, Sykes just alerted it and, all of his students follow. I didn't even alert it. I missed it. Okay? These are all students who are doing it on their own. And it's because they recognize the power of Friday morning spikers. And it's because they're in the chat room and they're using Stocks to Trade High of the Day Scanner. I'll include a video underneath this video with Stocks to Trade, how to use the High of Day Scanner. That is very useful, especially on Fridays. But also watch this video, the best pattern to watch out for every Friday. This was video lesson 5127 through 5129. And, it's probably going to keep happening in this hot market, and especially every Friday and maybe even some other days in the week. The past few days have been absolutely insane. You hear me a little stuffy. I'm just trying to keep up. I'm not like going out like partying like, yeah, this is awesome. Like I'm trying to just keep up with so many students in so many places. So I'm sorry if I don't respond to all your messages right away, or if I miss you. I'm just responding to a few people who tweet me. That's easier for me to check. But congrats to so many of you. This is awesome. And LINU, I specifically said I would not be holding it over the weekend. Volume was fading big time into the weekend. This might be a rebuy for me, or, a buy. But I don't know. It was really ugly price action like the last, few hours of the day. It was still finished up 100% on the day, but it's tough to hold these things especially because you know that they're most likely going to fail in the long run. They've had spikes in the past that they haven't held, and this one could do, a toxic financing too. So be careful. I'll see you guys in my chat room at the market open tomorrow. Be ready and be sure to use Stocks to Trade High of the Day scanner. It's going to just change your life.